all self-conscious when I saw people chatting and whatnot. So I'm out. I'm out at Twitch. I'm not doing it.
Oh, you don't even look at the chat room?
Nope. So if somebody directs something at me, if one of you guys are watching it, you're gonna have to.
So I've got the chat, Starwalker's Bot IRC. I've got this Twitch chat up for the viewer account. Starwalker's Bot IRC. My account's IRC up. So
I usually watch
3 instances of myself in existence.
Well, the people watching the stream, you didn't really miss anything. I was just getting ready to start things anyway, except for the explanation that Nathan is starting a new character tonight and is retiring Ulysses, and I'll let him explain that one later.
Yeah. So we balanced out the U's in the party with the T's. It's great.
That's right. That's right. So you guys have been traveling for another four or 5 days or so. You stayed a night in Scornubel, and you are arriving finally in Elturel. And let's see. So the most distinguishing thing about this city, which you see this from quite a ways off, is there is a shining light above the city. From a distance, it looks like a small sun or a star. This shining orb is known as Amantor's or Amanator's gift, and it hangs over the city. And I'll just tell you. It said that that the light it produces is painful to undead, and you can see this light from basically anywhere in Elturgard, which is kind of the country that this town is in. Oh, I have a picture for you guys.
Yay!
As soon as I get in the right, I got too many windows open here. Let's see. Here we are. Do you guys see it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool.
Nice.
And I love that we can pop things out now, so I can actually make things. Oh, I can't make it bigger.
Kind of looks like Minas Tirith.
I'm viewing it on my iPad.
So yeah, that's what it looks like, and you can even see kind of the rays of the shining light that's out of the frame of the picture. As you can see, it's situated on a rising defensible hill that falls away in a rocky cliff on its south side where the Chionthar River flows. The high district of Elturel dominates the untidy, noisy dock district below, which is dominated by warehouses, markets, wagon makers, and large stockyards. The dock district has dirt streets, has a lot of businesses and utilitarian buildings, but the high district is built of stone. It has narrow, twisting, steep, cobbled streets that are crowded with spired and balcony-festooned tall, narrow houses, dominated by the spires of High Hall, residence of the High Rider, and seat of local government and all large commercial meetings. Stretching away from High Hall in a narrow cut amid the buildings, like the blade of a naked sword, lies the long, narrow garden. It has an open place of, or it is an open place of flowers, wooded paths, arch bridges, and a spring that rises under High Hall and winds the length of the garden to tumble down the hill in the cascades of Maiden's Leap, and thence by canal to form a moat and bargeway for the eastern dock district, where it then joins the river. The garden is a favorite meeting place for citizens of Elturel and remains wild and beautiful in the winter. Local songs and tales often call it the Winter Garden. And the city is also ringed by a stout stone wall with 2 gates and open on the river side. So this is where you guys are supposed to meet Leosin and get your pay for dealing with the dragon caves.
Completely forgot about that.
I like getting paid.
And Paladin dude, right? The Paladin.
Yes. Yes,
yeah,
and also
Leosin, we're supposed to
Frulam Mondath. And I have a map you guys can have.
He was Mastig's former, or like, was he your friend or just somebody that you had met?
Like my mentor, kind of.
Yeah, okay.
He showed up and he showed up in my village, and he first tried to convince the villagers to fight back the giants, but was unsuccessful. And after I did, he then talked me into going to become a cleric. So,
Yeah.
Nice.
sort of my inspiration, I guess.
So you guys enter the city and you start asking around, asking people if anybody knows Leosin, and nobody knows who he is. But then Mastig, you finally start asking people about Onthar Frume, and you find some people that know who he is, and they tell you that he is at the headquarters of the Order of the Gauntlet, which is Frume's faction, and that is at the tavern called A Pair of Black Antlers.
Pair of black antlers.
Definitely
is
not
a-
the best tavern name I've ever heard.
No, it's no fucking pints.
Yeah,
not fucking
yeah.
right.
It's
fucking
a
Speaking of
fairly
which-
upscale place, so very different from the fucking pint in that
We
way.
should buy it. We should buy the fucking pint.
Oh, totally.
That's gonna
I wrote it down on my sheet. That's
You know, you should buy a tavern in every town you go to and make the fucking pint like the first chain of
Yes.
taverns.
Yes, franchise.
genius.
We're jumping right past the age of exploration, right into late stage capitalism.
That's right.
Boom.
That's right.
Awesome.
The almighty gold piece.
I do have a question about the treasure hoard then. So are we just dividing all that up? I was looking, and I was actually reading all my 3rd level spells. And I have a very good one coming up called Revivify. So if somebody dies, if I can get to them within 1 minute, I can bring them back to life with 1 hit point. The kicker of it is it consumes I think a 300 gold piece diamond
Whoa.
past it. Yes.
That might
So,
be a good thing to buy with the party treasure, huh?
That's kind of why I thought of it. I kind of saw it coming. I was like, well, it's probably
Good
is
thinking.
something we might want to keep in mind.
I
So,
feel like that is a immediate group purchase.
I feel like that's number one.
yeah. Again, I won't get it for another level. I don't have it now.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I'll get that at 5th level. I have access to that spell. So
What's that? Like
Well,
6
we're in a-
gold each?
It might be a good idea to get the
50.
diamond now, because you might be in the middle of
Yeah.
nowhere.
That's what I was gonna say. We'll just take that out of the party treasure, the current sack, maybe.
Yeah.
Does that make sense to everybody?
Yeah.
and
I'll take
just-
it out of the
Yeah,
copper.
take it out before we
Yeah.
before we split it.
Yeah, I like that.
Cool.
Keeps things simple.
Okay, I will
And,
take it out of the copper and silver first.
Yeah, that jeweler's gonna hate us. It's like, yeah, we'd like to buy a 300 GP time. They're like, oh yeah, we're paying in copper.
and did we determine the rest of this stuff then? There's the coin. There's all the gems. Like the 50 gold piece gems might be worth just keeping. Maybe
Yeah,
just-
Yeah.
Like I said on the forum, like if y'all wanted to sell the stuff like that, Nivara wants to like just start
I mean,
like taking her part in art pieces and then gems because it's getting to be too much weight in coins that she has, and I don't know what to spend it on for her yet. So
and even like the 10 gold piece gems, I'm not really interested in keeping. But once they get up to like 50 or 100 each, I could keep track of that. I probably won't end up with tons and tons of those.
All right, well, we just got rid of all your copper,
Yay!
and you're down to 1,120 silver.
And that was so now we have 1 300 gold piece diamond. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, so why don't you put that in your treasure, or like on your sheet, Dwayne?
That will be in Heward's handy haversack left pocket.
And do you guys want to, what about, you've got these little statues that are worth 25 gold apiece. Do you want to keep
I
those?
want them.
You want to keep
I
I
those?
want them.
Okay.
Like I want
Yeah.
to take like the art pieces first and then the other stuff, and she wants like and anything that the rest of the party deems worth selling, Nivara wants to take out of her cut if it's something like that, because she just doesn't have anything that she wants to buy, so she'd rather have these cool historical art pieces that she can display in her library / museum that she's going to open eventually.
Cool.
Well, let me ask.
Makes sense.
I was just going to ask. Do we want to do the accounting now? Is anybody looking at making a big purchase that needs the cash, or do we want to do this sort of on the forums?
Well, I think Dwayne is wanting to make a purchase. If he
you gonna
has
buy
the
the plate?
cash.
I don't think I have enough. I need like 1,500. So I'm pretty sure we don't have that yet. So
The bank
Where
of
you at right now?
is always open, man.
Yeah, I don't know how much we have,
I'll
but
lend you
like
some.
I said, Nivara has no interest in purchasing anything particularly at the moment, and she would see the value in having Mastig having his plate if between the two of them they could afford it too.
Well, if you guys
I
want to,
appreciate the sentiment, but dwarves have a thing about paying interest.
well,
And
if
Nivara
you guys
wouldn't
want
expect
to,
We do
interest.
not pay interest.
if you guys want to wait on this, that's fine. But it's actually easier to do this when we're all together than trying to do
Yeah.
it on the forum and waiting for everyone to respond with what they want to do.
Fair enough. Uthgrim wants disposable coin,
Oh,
and he has the strength to carry it. So he's, I will just take whatever his share is in the coin equivalent. So that may make things easier for his portion.
in regards to dwarves having a thing about paying interest, Nivara wouldn't care about that because she would consider the interest you providing the protection to the party as, you're providing protection to the party, so she sees this as a worthwhile purchase at value, eventually getting the money back. She doesn't see you running away with the plate and never paying her back.
All right. No, that's not going to happen. So
You know what we could do? It might be the easiest. Is just I could add up the value of like all the coins and the art objects and the gems and everything, and tell everybody like what your share would be. And then if you personally want to say, well, like Chrissy, if she wants to say, well, 125 gold pieces of my share is actually these statues. Then
So
you
That's
can
what
do
I
that.
was assuming we were going to do, is you're going to add up the value,
Yeah.
split it, and then instead of giving Nivara coins, you're going to give Nivara the gems and the statues and whatever to cover whatever of her share.
no, that will work fine. Except we probably should hash out who gets which magic items.
Yes.
Because that obviously we can't.
Well,
split that up.
Mastic is getting the haversack
Yep.
And the potion of growth.
Yep.
and
If
the
that's all
potion.
And
And
then
we
I
have,
have
we have Keodom's ointment, which is the healing ointment.
That kind of falls in the group, Kitty, from what my perspective.
Yeah.
I feel like that goes to whoever needs it at the time. Maybe throw it in the haversack just for ease of access.
Well, yeah, you want an actual character to have it because so that character can use it to heal someone or heal themselves, like in
Yeah.
combat, if needed.
because it is an action to pull an item out of the haversack.
Oh,
So-
right. Okay.
So if somebody else needs to use it, it doesn't make sense for me to really hold on to it with all my healing whatnot.
I think what we should do is make sure that everybody who doesn't have a healing spell has some form of healing potion on them at the time. So, like, does
Yeah.
Uriel have a healing potion on him?
I do not.
So maybe give him the ointment, or well, he's going to get the robe of useful items, which
I mean, I'd
We'll
give it
have
to
the
Trevor
healing
with his
potion.
track record of healing.
well,
people with
he's
items.
got 3 though. He's got
Ah,
3 healing potions already on him. Two?
Yeah,
Okay,
the
well-
robe has 4 healing potions that you guys could divide up too.
Well, then we can give Thurin the ointment, which will give him the equivalent of like 5-ish because the ointment had 3 uses, yeah?
Yeah, 3.
And then we can give Uriel the robe of useful items, which will have the 4 in the pocket.
Yep.
I feel like Uthgrim, while it might be nice to have him having potions, he's going to be one of the people who's more likely to go down because he's a frontline person. And that will leave Thurin and Uriel as kind of backline-ish people with potions, Nivara
They'll
and
be too
Mastic
upset
with
to
healing
use them.
spells. And
Well, what I
He
was
hasn't had
saying
the best
is
track record of like.
yeah.
what I was
Just
saying
do
is
that.
you could take the patch off of the robe and then you would have 4 potions that you could
So I
give
feel
to
like it's
4
better-
different people if you wanted to, so everybody has a potion.
Yeah.
This is true, but I feel like the way that it currently is better because then we don't have to take the potions off and have to carry their weight around and whatever. But that's just my opinion.
That's kind of the advantage of the robe, is that it's all just on a roll. But that's up to you guys, I guess.
Well, potions aren't that cumbersome, and
Yeah.
if you need them in combat, it's an action to pull the patch off, and then it's another action to use the potion. Where if you have
That's
the potion, it's just one action.
That is true.
It's up to
Yeah.
anyone else.
I should
I don't really care.
probably realistically be carrying at least one potion, just so that if shit really does go down and I need to do something, I should be able to do it.
And actually, the ointment, you could divide that up. That's 3 doses. You could give 3 different people a dose if you wanted. It doesn't have
So
to
then that
stay
gives
Oh
us
my
together.
God.
basically- Is there a mouse or something? What's going on?
Worse, flying insect.
No, it'll be okay.
Not worse.
I don't like flying insects. I'm gonna go over here real quick.
Most
Um,
insects fly.
I would say keep the ointment together because it has other properties in terms of its poison and disease, and we don't want to kind of waste it, I guess. I think pull those patches off, divvy those up, and
Flying
whoever,
insect over there.
All
On the
right,
floor.
so who's getting the ointment?
Trevor, Thurin is getting the ointment.
Okay, so Thurin,
He's our secondary healer.
do you have all the information for that, Thurin, or can you get that off the forum?
I'm pretty sure it's 2d8 plus something.
It's 2d8
plus
plus 2. There are 3 doses, and a dose also cures all poison and disease.
That's pretty sweet.
That is awesome. Yeah.
You know what I'll do?
I'm
I'm going to leave these in the party treasure for now, but I will put the name of the person who has it after it. So if you need to copy it to your character sheet or something, it's there. And then in a few days, I'll just delete it.
Okay.
Cool.
So that way, if you
So
need
then-
it, you can just copy paste it.
Okay. So then there's the potion of fire breath.
I'd say give that to Uthgrim, but
That would be cool.
Yeah.
That was my
Fire
first
breathing
thought. It
barbarian.
just seems like a natural to me.
Sweet. Okay, I'll take that. Sounds fun.
And Mastig's
then
got
there-
the potion of growth, right?
Yes.
And then what about the 4 other potions?
what other potions?
I
The
don't
healing
remember.
potions.
We just had 4 random potions, or the ones on the? You mean the ones on the?
Yeah, 4 potions of healing.
I say split. I would split a couple of them at least. Are these separate patches?
No, it's 1 patch.
Oh, one patch. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, well I say give Uriel the robe if Uriel is cool with that.
I'm totally cool with that.
Okay.
That thing's awesome.
As for the potions, I mean, I guess we could leave it. There were 4 of them.
4.
This
Yep.
room should have at least 1 or 2 of them.
I
I was
thinking-
gonna say.
Yeah.
I was gonna say you can give 1 to Uthgrim. Leave maybe 2 of them with Uriel, and then give 1 to Nivara or Mastig.
I'm good. Yeah, you can take me out.
I mean, Nivara and Mastig both have healing spells, which is why I
Yeah.
don't really particularly want to give them potions as well.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense for me to have one, really.
Well, we could keep one in the kitty, and just in case we happen to meet somebody who might need one.
Well, why don't Uthgrim and Uriel take 2 each for now,
Okay.
and then
Okay,
sounds
that
good.
works.
and then you guys
and
can.
then let's. We also have a potion of cold resistance for 1 hour. It's a fairly
yeah.
specialized thing, but it should go to somebody who is a little bit squishier.
I would say
like
maybe.
Nivara.
Yeah.
Or
that's
Uriel.
probably good, though. Or Uriel. Because
I
that's
should
the
be
type of
fine.
breath weapon type stuff.
Yeah.
I should be fine if I use my absorb element stuff.
Okay.
Assuming you successfully
Yeah,
transcribe
assuming.
the thingy. So I
Yeah,
think we
that's
should
right.
wait to see if he successfully transcribes the spell before we.
Do you have
Stop.
100 gold to spend on those, Uriel, on those 2 spells?
Oh yeah.
Why don't you go ahead and make your rolls?
Now, do you have inspiration?
I do not.
Oh, can I give him bardic inspiration for that?
Maybe he
I-
should have guidance.
Yes.
guidance
I don't know.
definitely.
I don't know how that works.
Let me look real quick. I don't
A
remember.
bar- I
you
think
remember what it
I
is?
think it's
Yeah.
skill checks
Yeah.
as well. So
Yeah, it's attacks, checks, and damage, right? So yeah, you totally can.
Guidance?
And
Or
guidance.
no?
Okay.
Yeah, so
Yes,
you have a
guidance.
D20 and a D6 and a D4.
Yeah.
I gave you a 1. Sorry.
You for the D6
Don't
you just added
Fuck
in.
this up, Kyle.
So I'm just rolling an Arcana Intelligence or an
Arcana. Yep. Intelligence Arcana.
You didn't add your D6. by
Yeah,
doing
so
it
just
that way.
roll a D6.
Let's hope it's high.
It's going to have to be, right? 'Cause
Oh,
Nice.
yeah.
At least you got a 6, so.
So that's
So
a
inspired.
14.
God, that Bardic Inspiration is awesome.
Yeah.
It's an awesome class feature.
And when I get to 5th level, I recharge them all on a short rest.
And then plus Mastic's Guidance. That's
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, 14.
A little something, something.
Something,
For
something.
No, did Ulysses leave with the +1 arrows? I mean, there's 2 of them, but
No, he didn't take anything from this loot. In fact, he even left the alchemical jug with us.
Ulysses never even really saw the loot.
okay. Yeah, that's true. Now, we could also peel off a couple other things off the robe of useful items. I'm thinking specifically the
Any
5
robe-
clear red garnets and 5 clear violet garnets worth 100 gold pieces each.
It's a lot of disposable cash right there.
That's $1,000.
I say we take it one item at a time. We're currently figuring out what we're doing with the.
It's like
Yeah,
2/3
let's go
of
first.
your.
Yeah,
thirds
let's
of the
finish
blade
up.
fund.
I'm looking up what his difficulty is for the.
Between Mastig's money and the Bank of Uthgrim, I think you could get it.
He doesn't want to pay the Bank of Uthgrim the interest
Oh,
that
that's
it
right.
was
It's under spell.
No.
Actually, I'm trying to save up some more for some armor.
10
too.
plus spell level. So is it 11?
I'm
So
gonna get
that's
some
definitely good
half-blade.
enough. Go and roll again, Uriel, for the other one.
You'll also have a D6 on that.
Okay.
Another 1. Sorry.
Nice.
Don't need it.
Nice.
Don't need it.
Unnecessary.
All right, so you
Yeah,
can add
what
both of those to your book. Costs you 100 gold.
Nice.
Okay,
And
then
something
Navarro
you
will
can
hold on
do,
to
Kyle, that I will let you do is when you're in a town, like when you're in Elturel, you can say, I'm going to spend 200 gold for spell scribing stuff, and then just write that down on your character sheet. And then when you find a scroll, you already have the stuff. So if you're in the middle of nowhere, you don't have to wait to go to town to scribe the scroll.
Right now. I'm gonna
Okay.
say Uriel went off to a shop and found scroll scribing material, and he purchased $200 worth.
Okay. All right. Where
Okay,
are
so I
we?
guess if Uriel has the potion or spell absorb element, I guess Navarro will hold the potion of.
Okay. And then we have 2+1 arrows.
Thurin
Sure.
Yep.
or Naivara seem like the bow users, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd probably give it to Naivara because she uses her bow more than what Thurin does.
Okay.
But Thurin's so garbage with his bow. He needs all the help he can get.
Navarro's pretty garbage with a bow. Too.
Now, Trevor, you can sneak attack
You're
with a
like a
bow,
sword.
right, Trevor?
Yeah, I know.
But he's got to hit first, Lex.
This is true. You do have to hit.
I think I've only hit with my bow once.
Yeah, but in fairness, how many times have you shot it? It doesn't seem like that many.
About 9.
Oh, really? Okay. I stand
know.
corrected.
But to be fair to Thurin, like, he's standing next to Ulysses, who's just fucking.
Yeah,
Hanging
you
shots.
won't get a compared Ulysses.
All right, so I think that's all the magic
Specifically
items.
designed to sling range.
Yep.
And I'll delete those scrolls off of the. Did you put those spells in your book, Kyle?
I'm doing that right now.
Okay. I'll just put your name after them for now. So, yeah, do we want to do the gold now or?
Yeah, we might as well take care of it.
Yeah,
Okay.
we're in the midst of all this stuff, so may as well get
Got
it
my
done.
calculator.
Mastic
right here.
wants to sell some stuff too. Can we just take care of that at this point?
Yeah,
I
you
gotta
can
wait.
you can sell stuff for half the value unless it's a trade good. It's full value.
Okay.
So you can just do that on your own. And you guys are keeping the talismans for now. Is that right? Or do you want to sell those? You can sell those in Elturel and get the full value for them. if you want.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Shake that shit down.
Whatever Chrissy or whatever Naivara doesn't want to keep, I say let's just liquidate.
And we got to make up for the loss of that grain cargo.
Yeah, all those copper
Yeah.
pieces you lost.
A lot of copper lost in the road.
Never live that down.
That was an investment.
We're fucking terrible merchants.
I think you
Yeah.
guys actually have quite a bit of money here once we add all this up.
That's
I would think so.
So does anybody need a light crossbow? I'd rather give it to somebody than sell it for half. Okay.
I can't use crossbows.
I'm also thinking
you
about
can.
getting-
Rogues can use crossbows.
Yeah, but my proficiencies, I only have short bow and long bow.
Oh, that's right.
No, that's from an elf. As a rogue, you can use crossbows. I'm pretty sure.
Really?
Yeah,
hand crossbows.
and
They're
light
also
crossbow.
simple weapons. There's whatever.
I know
I
you can
know-
use a light crossbow at the very least.
I'll let you guys kind of tell me what you think of this idea. I'm thinking about just getting rid of the shield and battle axe, and just going straight up with the great sword, the great axe, and not having the. Because it just gets kind of silly that I'm carrying a shield and 2 axes and 2 throwing axes and 2 throwing hammers, and what do you guys think?
I mean, I think that's up to you, man. But I think if you're getting the plate armor, I think that makes that decision a lot easier because your AC will be boosted accordingly.
Yeah.
If you're still rocking the splint, then it's more of a debatable point.
Yeah. So
Well, while you're calculating that, I'll be right back.
well, the splint gives me
It's close, right? It's one off.
yeah.
Yeah.
Splint is 17, plate is 18.
Yeah.
But of course, if I went with the shield, that would either be 19 or 20 AC, which is
Right.
of course better. But I'm really wanting to do the great axe. I
Do
have
it.
been okay.
Totally.
All right.
Okay.
Boosted AC once you can get some half plate, but that may be. I may not do that anytime soon. Might come back.
All right, everybody's gonna get, and I'm dividing this 5 ways, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so everybody gets 395 gold,
Sweet.
and that's selling all of the talismans, all of the gems, the statues, the gems from the robe of items. So if there's any of those things you want, you can just buy it with your share.
So that's not including what Leosin's giving us as well, right?
Right. That's just
So
from
we give
your
to him? All right.
treasure. And in just a second, I'll give you the silver.
Glad they made the coinage metric. 10 silver to
Yes.
1 gold. 10.
Me
Yeah.
too.
Maybe I could just do it all 0.5 instead of 5 silver.
Okay, so you've got 4 gold left in the party. And then silver is 224.
224 each.
Yes. And then that is all the silver.
Wait, what happened? Did I miss? Missing number.
You get 395 gold and 224 silver, and that's selling all of the gems and the talismans and stuff. So if you wanted any of those things, Chrissy, you can just trade them out.
Yeah, I have to go before I can do that, but I'll post that later.
Yep.
That's cool.
So I'm going to leave them. I'm just going to put sold after things and leave them in there for people for a while.
Cool.
Man, you must be pretty close. Reasonably close, Dwayne. How much do you get there?
I have 876 gold.
Oh, okay. Right, because you bought this one. Right.
So I'm about halfway there.
I could probably lend you some coin that I won't charge interest on. I can lend you as much as 200 gold pieces. If
He
you
could
want.
start affording you healing spells, charging you a premium.
Yeah, you charge me every time. That's actually a good call. if he was really worshiping like, I don't know what, Timora maybe, or some god of.
That gives me a
commerce.
really terrible character idea.
Yeah.
I'm like
I
a
know, right?
businessman cleric. Ooh, I think I know my character for the Fandelver game now.
All right,
What
now
is
that
the
all the
con-
accounting is over.
I got a question. What's the conversion rate for silver pieces to gold pieces? I forgot.
10.
It's 10, right?
Yep.
And also, Kyle, I think you should do your bard.
Pots and pans bard.
Yeah,
Oh, I like you guys too much for that though.
I love the idea so much, though. That's my favorite thing. That kind of thing, and like just unique character ideas like that. My favorite thing ever.
Like honestly, I kind of made that and just a fit of silliness. It was nothing about that seemed okay to me, but if you liked it, then
I love it.
I might.
But
give
this
it a
is coming
shot.
from the guy that wanted to make the Warforged druid that transformed like a robot into the various animals. So
That's true. Warforged bard.
That would work great in Eberron.
yeah,
That would be
or
awesome.
it'd work great in any campaign where the DM was a fun guy.
Where he didn't care about genre at all.
Yeah,
You know, okay, I'll do.
My
I'll
guy
do
has a
pots and
phaser.
pans.
yeah.
I'll do my pots and pans bard.
What's the pots and pans bard? I don't even know what you're talking about.
He's a hobbit named Capusta, and he is a chef that put all his instruments are like his cookware, and so
Kitchen drum set.
like he has like a steel pot. He uses spoons on it. Sounds like a steel drum, you know. And he's got a
That's
walk.
awesome.
He's got a walk that sounds like a hang drum. So
Hey, do it. It sounds like fun to me.
It'll be interesting.
Yeah. All right. So I'm gonna get us to where Nathan can join us. So Mastig finds out that Frume is at the what's it called, the something antler.
the black
The pair of black antlers.
Yeah. So you guys head there, and you let's see, pair of black antlers, and you find that actually Leosin and Frume are there, and you are shown to a private room in the tavern when you go in, asking for Frume. And you go in and you see a table. There are quite a few wine pitchers on the table. About half of them are empty. And you see Frume and Leosin in there. Do I have a picture of him? I think I do. Yes, I do. So this is Onthar Frume. He is a human paladin of Torm.
Nice.
He is a very jolly kind of guy. You guys watch Game of Thrones?
I've read the books. I read them before they were cool.
The king. What's his name?
Baratheon?
Yeah,
Is it
that's
Baratheon?
who this guy reminds me of. You know?
I like how his armor.
Bow
is
before
so
your
cool.
king, you shits. You know,
With this
yeah.
guy.
That's awesome.
Does he use that claymore one-handed? It's the only
Yeah.
man in the realm who can use it.
So yeah, they're in there, and they're Leosin's very glad to see you. He says, "Oh, my friends, you've made it. You must come tell us everything that you've learned. This is a friend of mine, Onthar Frume. He is a holy paladin of Torm and a representative of the Order of the Gauntlet." And you see on the table, kind of weighed down by all these wine jugs, you see a map of the area, kind of similar to the one we've been using. And you guys can and you see Nathan's character in there as well.
Oh, and you see Nathan's character.
Yes. So you want to describe your character for us, Nathan?
Yeah, which for the benefit of the number one, I think most of you have read on the forums. I went ahead, I put the biography and the last excerpt from the Circles in the Sand on the community page, which is linked in chat. So those who need to should check that out. But yeah,
Nathan,
I will-
before you start, that group you were asking me about, you are like a member.
Okay.
And you are kind of representing them here. They actually become involved in this sooner than I thought. So
Oh, wow. Okay. Awesome. So, yeah, that's neat.
Cool.
Okay, so I'm just gonna read. I'll skip the bio part, but I'll go with the image part. So, a thin and calm creature stands before you. You'd mistake him as timid or maybe even skittish, if not for the look in his eyes. Tyvel stands at 5'8", of slender and straight build. He has skin worn by the land he loves and soft, kind green eyes. He speaks gently and sure, but many confuse it as timid. He carries with him very modest possessions: an old satchel, worn traveling leathers, a wooden shield carved lovingly with the rose and grain laurel of Chantea. His ensemble is finished with linen garments dyed blue and green, and soft, well-loved boots that, Mastic makes good note of. His more wondrous possession, and his prize, is a walking staff that at the top has had crevices carved out and filled with dirt. A myriad of flowers are known to grow from the top of the staff. His real iconic mark that people know him by in Elturel is the hand-woven green scarf that consumes his neck and runs low on his chest and back. The scarf has small shells, feathers, teeth, claws, leaves, and other natural knickknacks woven in. It is clearly much larger than more practical scarves. A gift that was given to him for his travels by the clergy of the High Harvest home here in Elturel, which he is a native of.
So
Are you
Leosin introduces him to you guys. He says, "This is an associate of mine, Tyvel." Is that how you say it, Nathan?
Yeah, Tyvel.
And I think he would be an excellent addition to your crew. He's very knowledgeable and skilled.
How tall does Tyvel stand?
5'8".
Okay. And what shape are the
Towers
tops of his
around
ears?
Rounded off.
Okay.
He is human.
You
He
racist.
is human. So Tyvel will, gently incline himself in a small bow, and says, "I hope you all have enjoyed your small current stay in Elturel. If you take as much time as you can to enjoy the narrow gardens in the middle of the city. Some call me the Greenskeeper, Tyvel the Greenskeeper, though whoever you ask, is that an honorific or more of a slur for my peculiar interests in the more colorful things in nature. But I'm happy to be here and happy to help in whatever way I can."
Good to meet you, Tyvel. And I get a lot of shit about my peculiar interests too. Just so you know. Whatever you're into, dude, is cool.
So, and also in real life, I had a scarf that I was going to use as a prop, but I cannot find it. So I'll find that for next time.
So question here, because you mentioned flowers. Like, does he smell like flowers? I'm wondering if you and Uriel might have something.
I mean, he smells, I guess, of like fresh cut grass and that nonsense and nonsense
okay.
in the road and whatnot. But he does have flowers growing from the top of his staff.
Right.
A small, what looks like a soon to blossom, like berry bush, a rose, a lily of the valley, and smaller natures kind of things.
Cool.
So Uthgrim kind of gives like Leosin a bit of like a look like this guy, like doesn't look like much. So you've been in battles then, Tyvel?
I have not seen much combat myself. I've been up and down the Sword Coast on I guess you could call it a pilgrimage from time. And I have seen a very small share of bandits and kind of business and that, but I've never seen any large scale action. I've read plenty about it though.
Ah, yes, quite like her little Nivara there. She's proved herself useful despite.
I think you'll find, and maybe I can prove to you in good time, that maybe not all that you see is what you get.
So, my friends, Leosin says, please tell me what you've learned.
I have a map, several documents and maps that I would place on a table, and they are maps of the Raiders' camp, which are kind of useless now, but also maps and documents of the cultist plans.
Yes.
Like their next attack and all that. I'd probably lay that out and kind of explain to how we got it, where we found it.
So
Yeah.
Leosin's very excited about that particular map, and if you guys remember, it kind of had presumably their route kind of sketched on it in red, and Frume like takes one look at it and he strides over to the door and like throws it open, and he bellows into the hallway, "Branson, get in here!" And pretty soon you're joined by another man in armor. Looks to be one of Frume's soldiers, and they start kind of poring over this map as you guys continue telling your tale.
Uthgrim's content to let Uriel sort of stepped out and took the lead a little bit, so he's happy to kind of step back and let somebody else lead that.
I do want to, at some point, not maybe right away, but I want to pull Onthar Frume aside and speak to him kind of in private a little bit.
Okay.
You know, Uriel would actually like to do the same, but
Well, first tell me what you tell them as far as information you guys have learned.
I'll try my best to participate in whatever plans you're making and add my 2 cents from being around them. But I would probably just be a third wheel and just be a kind of little bit of support.
Uthgrim would probably talk a little bit about, the makeup of the, like, what we fought, namely that they seem to be composed largely of what he disdainfully calls independent mercenaries. They seem to be using a lot of kobolds, including flying kobolds, that sort of thing. Like, he would focus on, I guess, some of the finer details of, like, the logistics of, like, the types of soldiers they use, their equipment, that type of stuff. That type of thing is what he would focus on, and he'd pass that along. Bigger picture stuff.
Uriel would mention also, while they're in the cave, they destroyed 3 eggs, and
Eggs?
and
What type of eggs?
Yeah, we found some dragon eggs,
Oh.
and we had them destroyed. So,
Yes.
and
That's
then
the
like
jump
he
in
would
this
just
point-
kind
at
of
this point and back Uriel up 100%.
Oh, really?
yeah.
And
So- Also, Uriel would love to talk to Leosin in private later. Also,
Naivara would pipe up and tell them exactly what color eggs they were.
Okay.
A red one, a black one, and a green one.
Mhm.
And Mastig will focus in the telling of this on how deadly Cyanrath was and what a major threat he was. And in very glowing terms, talk about the glorious. Are there any dwarves in attendance here?
Not in this room, but you did see some in the tavern on your way in.
Okay, then I won't mention the battle trance part of it because I don't think humans could get that even if they
Okay.
wanted to. I don't think they could they couldn't crack that.
I want to point out that Naivara would not specifically lie. She would make sure to carefully word it in such a way as she says, there were 3 eggs, they were these colors,
Okay.
and not like say that we destroyed them or anything.
Uriel
There's
would
not much for subtlety. He's like,
Hey,
you're
Chrissy,
speaking,
go ahead
right?
and
Like,
give me like an intelligence roll.
Ooh.
Okay, just a straight up intelligence roll.
You could use nature or arcana, whichever is better.
Okay. Here's my Arcana roll.
Nice. Okay, yeah, you remember actually the eggs were black, blue, and green.
Oh, sorry. I don't know why I had it in my head that one of them
Yeah,
was
that's
red.
okay. I figured like your character would remember, so.
While Mastig's telling his story, Uthgrim's just kind of standing behind, like, nodding with a bit of a smile, like,
Okay.
Like I can't like this kind of a thing.
yeah, that sort of thing. Like, he's like, yeah, like, the dwarf's having a good time. Fair
All right.
enough. It's mostly accurate.
Uriel is just down in those pictures. Poured him in sofa glass. He's going at it.
All right. Well, it sounds like you guys have hit the high points. And then some people wanted to talk to some people privately.
Yeah, I'd like to take aside. I'd like to take aside Frume actually, and kind of try to subtly grab like Uriel's coat a little bit and kind of have him come with.
Okay.
All right.
So basically, I want to explain. The Mastig thinks that when we encountered the young green-black dragon, whatever it was
green.
green. In Mastig's head, everybody except Uriel and Ulysses were actually under the influence of a charm set by the dragon.
Okay.
And that's why they didn't back him up. See,
Okay.
Mastig's such a true believer that he couldn't think that somebody else would disagree with him about this. So he actually thinks the dragon charmed them.
Okay.
And he wants to make sure that he tells Frume that. But Uriel seemed not to be swayed by the dragon's allure. So
Okay. He says, tell me more about this dragon.
his name was, and would I remember that? I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's Kraul Duranthar.
Kraul Duranthar, a young green who turned out to be more than we could handle, sadly. And he is the one who actually destroyed 2 of the eggs and stole the 3rd. So.
Oh, you
Yeah.
tell him that?
Oh yeah, I gotta
that's
come
why-
clean with Frume, but
Okay.
Mastig still thinks that the other people might have some mental.
Okay, they're under some kind of
fogginess.
magical.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So that's why he didn't want to.
Okay.
Want to spill that.
He says, "Well, I appreciate you telling me that. Dragons are known to be magical creatures and very cunning."
And we do
Yes.
specifically mention that he did get away with one of the eggs.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Okay. And then, did someone else want to talk to someone privately?
after Mastig was separated from him, I think, like, I don't know. I'm just asking people at this point who are fairly intelligent. I'll kind of explain to them about the last week with my situation with the dreams, and then I'll kind of pull up a sleeve and show them I was born with this. I have these tattoos. You seem like someone who would know things about this. Do you have any ideas about what this could be?
Are you asking Leosin or?
Onthar actually.
Oh,
Leosin-
okay. He says, "Oh, I've never seen anything quite like that before. This just appeared?"
I was born with it. I was born with all of this on my chest and down my calf. I just born with it. So
He says, "Well, I don't know a lot about such things, but if I had to guess, I would guess that you've been touched with touched by a deity of some kind, though I'm not sure which one."
who could I talk to that would give me? information about
Describe the tattoos to me. Like, what do they look like specifically?
Mostly from what I remember from the post, it was a lot of star maps, a lot
Okay.
of measurements of planets, and then orbital systems,
Okay.
and a lot of space stuff.
Okay.
So,
He says, "Well, here, I'm trying to think of from off the top of my head." He says, "Well, there are a few deities that are associated with the stars and the moon. There's I think it's Selune or Selune is the goddess of the moon. See if she might not even be in the book. Yeah.
And then I would specifically talk to him about the apocalyptic dream, the one where the city was what was it called? Was it Waterdeep?
Waterdeep, yeah.
Yeah, I was talking about how Waterdeep was attacked, and then seeing a woman pull a piece of the sun and all of that, and ask him about that, and then tell him how vividly I remember the Waterdeep getting attacked. And if anyone would have believed prophetic dreams, I think a paladin might be one of them.
Yeah, well, he asked you. He says, "Have dreams of yours come true in the past?"
They're usually a lot more vague. So, usually they're a lot more That's what I'm looking for. Just
More like kind of symbolic and not
yeah,
so
not so
literal.
much. Yeah, and this one seemed a lot more literal.
So yeah, so there's Selune, which is she's a chaotic good goddess of the moon, stars, navigation, wanderers, lycanthropes of all things. And then there's also another one. Let me find it here. Oh, that actually. There's also an elven deity, Sehanine Moonbow, who is also the goddess of the moon, the night skies, mystery, mysticism, and dreams.
So yeah, I'd present that as a head, like kind of like I think we should prepare to, for a defense at Waterdeep, and just bring that up to him.
Now, the dream that I gave you that you had, like how detailed do you get in that?
I mean, crap. I'm sorry to like keep everybody on this for so long, because this is becoming very one-sided, Uriel. So thank you for your patience.
Oh, no worries.
Let's see. I mean, like,
specifically the woman. Like how do you describe her? Like how in depth do you go? Do you just say there was a woman, or are you going to describe her in a lot of detail?
A very pale woman, almost kind of bluish, wearing a very whitish bluish robes, big eyes, details like that.
He says, "Well, the woman you describe is known to me. If it's who I think it is, she's a real person."
Who would that be?
Her name is Avriana Lightbreeze. She is an elf, kind of I guess you could say an independent element. She usually keeps to herself.
Where is she at?
It depends. She has a flying castle. It moves around. Usually she's further north.
Well,
but it said that she carries a sword like the one that you described.
So, yeah, and I would ask, like, would there be any way for me to communicate with this Avriana?
He says, I believe in Waterdeep. She has some people there.
Okay.
A lot of the elves in the area will know of her. Specifically the moon elves. Well, and the gold elves, I guess. Not so much the wood elves. They kind of keep to themselves.
Wait, the moon elves know about who? I'm sorry, I wasn't paying attention.
The woman in Uriel's dream.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I zoned out for a second there.
That's all right.
All right, cool. So I think Uriel would profusely just thank Onthgar, promise him a round of drinks or dinner or something for answering a lot of his questions. And so.
Yeah, well, he thanks you, and he says, I'm sure that you're all tired from your journey. Please feel free to take it easy. We've arranged rooms for you here. Please kind of stay close. We're gonna do some strategizing, and we'll want to speak with you again after we've had some time to kind of pour over all this information and decide our next move. And Leosin gives each of you the 150 gold that he owes you.
As a small point of order, he really owed us 150 times 6. So, you know.
Well, he
Technically
owed
not.
each
he
of
promised us
you-
150 each.
Yeah,
Well, we
and
kinda
one
gotta
of
pay it out to
you
his
aren't
family,
here.
right? He's not here. We'll just send it to him in Kalimshan or wherever he went.
They usually don't pay deserters.
That's a fair point.
Are you trying to get his share? Is that what's going on here?
No, more for fun than anything. I don't actually really want it. I just thought it was fun.
But when you're discussing that, Leosin kind of lowers his voice and he tells you that he recommends that you try to get on Frume's good side, and that he's impressed by things like honesty, physical prowess, and drive. So if you guys can either individually or as a group kind of impress him in those ways, it would probably be good for you, because he has some influence with some important people.
Guys, I will arm wrestle him. But I need guidance, and I need to be raging, and also maybe... But we'll lock it down right here.
Well, there's
I'll
his
wrestle-
men too. He has a lot of men here, so there are a lot of soldiers in the inn that you could, whatever, arm wrestle or have drinking
all-
contests
I
with.
only
or-
want to arm wrestle them, Lex.
Or as Uthgrim, when he talks to Frume, he just casually does bodybuilder poses.
Yeah. Like, oh,
Yeah.
yeah, you stretch out those muscles, hey?
Is it thick in
So-
here? Is it just me? Ugh.
Wait, hold on. So you mean he wasn't immediately impressed by Uthgrim and his shiny, hairy, muscle-bound, unclothed chest because his shirt got destroyed?
That's
Sack
right. That's
jacket.
right.
I might need to soak that shirt again. Oh.
Yeah.
So you guys have some time. You don't have to worry about getting rooms or anything. But you're gonna have about a day to kill. So
Okay.
if there's anything anyone needs to do,
I'll definitely bring up to Leosin the whole green geography, and then
Okay.
like what happens. The dragon got away with it. Dragon's name.
Okay.
And just a whole spiel. So they're both caught up.
yeah, neither one of them have heard of this particular dragon before. He's a new player, as they say.
So, Uriel, why did we lie about the start?
So we could keep focus on the planning instead of everybody telling like 6 different stories about one thing. I could just tell them one story about what happened.
You're a smart man, Uriel. I would never have thought of that.
All right.
Oh,
So
well,
does
you
anyone have anything they need to do in the next 24 hours, or are you just resting and recuperating?
Holy
Uh-oh.
fuck. The readers owe it to themselves to check out the link that.
Just keep
Holy
going.
smokes.
All righty.
Oh man. That's I'm sorry, I completely lost track of what you were doing for a minute.
Gotta love multimedia at the end.
You guys are nuts.
Oh my goodness.
Oh boy.
Well, I think basically what I was going to do in town was what I said earlier.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sell some stuff. Basically we're doing business pretty much.
I think Uriel would actually take the time to ask Tivol to the gardens, show him around the gardens. Tyval, sorry. Tyval. And Uriel would have walked to the gardens nonetheless, but he would use it as he would ask Tyval to show him so they can catch up and know each other.
Tyva would totally acquiesce to your request.
So
He would be totally stoked.
Totally.
Yeah.
So Tyval, where do you get the good weed?
He grows it himself.
Yeah. If anybody knows.
The halfling,
guy with the flowers.
halfling pipe leaf.
Yeah. The guy with the flowers growing off his staff knows where the good stuff is.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
Originally, I was gonna have Tyval just be like, "Yeah, dude," but then I was like, no, I can do one funny accent per campaign.
Lex, I've been thinking about
Yeah.
things to do with my cash, and one of the things I was wondering about, I was reading through weapons and stuff. Silvering a weapon, is that something that's done in a reasonably short amount of time?
Yeah,
Is that,
I think so.
you know, it seems like a practical thing to do
Without
with
knowing
100
anything about it. Yeah.
What's that?
I said I think so without really knowing anything about it.
Well,
Sure. What? This is fantasy. They have
I don't know.
magic.
Well, I'm kind of thinking like he's been on the road, he's fought before. I'll read out the parts. So it says here, some monsters that have immunity or resistance to non-magical weapons are susceptible to silver weapons. So cautious adventurers, I think, you can fit into that. Invest extra coin to plate their weapons with silver. You can silver a single weapon or 10 pieces of ammo for 100 GP.
Yeah.
That includes the cost of the silver and the silvering of it.
Cool. Yeah, I think you could get that done in the time that you're here. I mean, I imagine it's done similarly to how it's done today, which is like a chemical process. I don't think it takes very long.
I don't know.
Dwarven magic.
Cool.
I've had things gold plated before, and it's like it takes them like an hour or something.
Is there a magic shop in town?
What specifically are you looking for? There's not really a magic shop, but depending what you want, there might be some place where you can find it.
Just a rapier if someone's selling one.
Oh, a magical sword?
Yeah.
Probably not. Let me look.
I was just kind of thought about it like if you got like a weapon that's like a +1 weapon, obviously a very metagame term, but it's like that forever. Nobody's ever going to sell that thing. You know, I mean, why would you? I mean, it'd be the greatest thing. Like some average guy, it'd be the greatest thing he'd ever have in his life, probably. You know, so they pretty much go off the market.
Well, I mean, they have to be produced like master crafting. I mean, that's +1. It's just not magically +1.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's not a thing anymore.
Yeah, sadly.
I'm glad it's not. That only seemed like just silly to me.
Well, then what happened? You end up getting this escalation of bonuses, and then the monster numbers have to come up to be a challenge.
And bounded accuracy is a very fragile thing.
Yeah, it seems easily broken.
Let's see.
Which
Well,
again comes back to
a
what you
lot
said
of the
earlier.
things is a lot of the magic items were actually created long ago. They're not like necessarily mass produced. Because if you look at like what it costs to make magic items, like you can't actually make money making magic items, which I think is really smart that they designed it that way. Like even potions, you know, you're not once you pay what it costs to make like a potion of healing, you're not going to make enough money selling it to like make it really worth it for like PCs to go into the business.
Right.
Because yeah, I mean the economy could just fall apart because it'd be like, oh, we can just make magic
But the
items.
economy must be a hard thing to balance in a fantasy world.
It's all
Let's
cottage,
see.
you know. There kind of is no big picture economy. It's just like this guy over in this place makes this stuff, you know. I don't know. I won't get.
Yeah,
into
I
it.
think
I tend to go into it.
I know what
you
you're
might
saying.
have a chance in like Waterdeep because Waterdeep is huge, but in your average city, you're not going to find beyond like your basic potion of healing or something like that.
Maybe Baldur's Gate, definitely Neverwinter. They're all about magic shit. Neverwinter.
I mean, I'd say about Waterdeep would be the only place that you're going to find an actual magic item store
Done.
because it's like a metropolis. Because it says right in the DMG that magic items aren't bought and sold, so
Right.
it's an exception if they are.
They're given as rewards, right?
Yeah, and kind of like what Dwayne was saying, like a magic sword, like most people could never afford one. And even if they could afford it, they would have no need for one. And also most people don't like trade. Really only adventurers and nobles and merchants are the only ones that like trade in gold pieces. like most people are doing like barter. Like your average like person doesn't carry around money. So
Cool. Sorry, I love that stuff. It's totally outside of the game, but
As a group, we're fucking mad wealthy.
Yeah.
Thurin's just
Yeah.
gonna be at the end drinking some good beer.
awesome.
Sounds awesome.
I'm gonna hear that, buddy.
As soon as my longsword's done, I'm coming to meet you.
All right. So the following evening, after you guys kind of rest and recover, one of Onthar Frume's squires tells you all that he would like to speak with you in the same room where you met with him before.
course.
And so you guys,
I'm just
it's
wondering
like
how you're
late.
here.
It's probably like
Shit.
10 o'clock at night, something like that.
I've had a few pints.
A few.
Few.
Uriel's
Probably
probably
like 6. Don't worry about
gallon by now.
Yeah, Euro thought he was about to go to bed, so he's a little smashed, but he knows he can't be smashed.
Man, you-
publicly.
You party early.
It's 5 o'clock
So-
somewhere.
Party starts at 9, it ends at 10.
Yeah,
Party hard.
party till it's bedtime.
All right, so Frume Squire shows you to the private space off the tavern's common room and closes the door when he leaves. Waiting for you in the room are the broad-shouldered human paladin, the monk Leosin, and many pitchers of dark red wine. The paladin's face wears a serious expression, unlike its usual open countenance. My friends, we have important business to discuss. At this point, you know almost as much about it as we do, and thanks to you, we know twice as much today as we did a 10-day ago. Something rotten is afoot. We have no formal organization to oppose these rascals, not yet anyway. We're working on that. And we need people like you who know how and when to fight, and how and when to keep their heads down and observe. We can't promise you anything except long days filled with danger and stress. But what could be better than that, eh? And he motions to the wine and...
Are you fucking kidding me? We're not all fucking paladins, you know.
So our reward from Leosin, that was calculated in?
No, that's
You
separate.
pass that up. Yeah.
Yeah, so you guys got another 150 each from him.
Okay, cool.
All right, so you guys drink, and these guys start talking to you. Basically, they both represent an organization in the realms. You find out that Leosin is a member of the Harpers, and you may or may not have heard the Harpers before. You probably know at least the general rumors that they're a secretive group. That they're dedicated to furthering equality and justice and keeping power out of the hands of people who don't deserve it. Leosin tells you that the Harpers are loosely organized and that Harper agents are allowed wide freedom of action. And Onthar Frume is a member of the Order of the Gauntlet, and his order shares many of the Harpers' principles, but the two organizations are very different as far as kind of how they go about things. The Order of the Gauntlet emphasizes faith, vigilance, and constant struggle against threats of evil. Many of its members are clerics and paladins, but the order welcomes anyone who shares its ideals. Discipline is key, and the order is distinctly more structured and hierarchical than the Harpers. So right now, the top concern of both of these groups is the Cult of the Dragon. In the past, the cult was more active to the east, and it was focused on creating Draco-liches. This shift to the Sword Coast region and their new emphasis on living dragons and on Tiamat are cause for concern. The cult is on the move, and it's up to something big. The Order of the Gauntlet, the Harpers, and a third group known as the Emerald Enclave, which Tyvel is a representative of, are kind of banding together to try to stop the cult.
What's the Emerald Enclave all about?
They are all about preserving nature. A lot of rangers and druids, and they oppose things like the undead and aberrations and things that are a threat not only to people but to like nature and the natural order and stuff like that. They're much more like they're an organization, but their people tend to operate like independently, just by the nature of rangers and druids.
Bunch of high-minded folk you are. Oh, good for you.
So basically, these guys are giving you the opportunity to join their orders if you want to. So you can join either or. There's really no good reason not to, and there's a lot of perks to being affiliated. They have connections and resources all over the place. They can at this early stage, where as new initiates there's no pay and you wouldn't be given like a rank, but you would have help and support from other members and allies who are spread from Noshkel and Candlekeep in the south to Neverwinter and Mirabar in the north. And the horses that Leosin gave you, that came from the Harpers. Like they're the ones that bankrolled that. Yeah. So Harpers usually can be recognized by their symbol, which is a silver harp nestled between the horns of a crescent moon. Some agents wear this openly. Some of them wear it hidden. Leosin himself has like a pendant that he wears. Depending on the situation, he may wear it openly or he may wear it like underneath his clothing. The members of the Order of the Gauntlet, they all wear their holy symbols pretty openly. Frume actually has the Hand of Torm on the breastplate of his armor.
Are they associated with Torm? Is that like their patron or something like that?
No. He's one. They don't have one specific god, but
Okay.
he's one that a lot of them worship. But other goodly deities.
So the Order of the Gauntlet definitely sounds like Mastic's crew.
Yeah. The Order of the Gauntlet's more focused on like hitting things before they can like be a problem.
Yeah, they're more of a military
team.
organization.
Whereas
And
the
the
Harpers
Harpers-
are retributive.
And they're more of like spying and espionage and
And the Enclave
stuff
are
like
like
that.
people, kind of like if your country was occupied, the rebels against the occupier would be the Emerald Enclave.
Yeah.
So the espionage one is the Harpers, right? Is that what you said?
Yeah, and also spellcasters.
Okay, yeah.
And you
Okay.
guys don't all
Harpers?
have to choose the same one either.
If I join the Harpers, can I get like a lyre that is like their symbol, but like
Silver Harp.
pretty, like an actual functioning lyre that looks like their symbol
That would
of
be
their
cool.
thing?
Like a bottle
I
of Guinness.
totally want that. That sounds like a badass looking lyre.
I love
Yeah.
that. That's gonna be like the basis for your decision.
Yeah.
Like, can I get a badass liar? Because if I can, I'm down.
No. I think she would join that group anyway because it's more in line with her ideals. But she wants their symbol as like an actual functioning lyre.
You
But
gotta
also
be
badass
badass.
liar. I got you, man. Like, set up.
You gotta build that brand,
All about that brand.
That's right.
Thurin would join with Mastic because he likes being sneaky.
Wait, the Order of the Gauntlet is sneaky?
That's what Lex said.
I
Oh,
think the Harpers are the sneaky.
Yeah,
sneaky
yeah.
ones.
Oh, okay. Then
Order of the Gauntlet are the very rah, let's go punch him in the face.
Yeah.
That-
Let's see.
that-
I have some more information
That part
here.
appeals to me as he's fucking sloshing wine all over himself. But this whole not getting paid thing, like, honestly, we'll get paid eventually.
And there are other organizations that will come into play later. That like there's one specifically that will probably really appeal to Thurin, but they're not in the picture yet.
I assume.
They're-
So here's the
Double
question: If we
Well,
join
can-
one now, can we leave and join a different one later?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
So here I have some more. So the Harpers is a scattered network of spellcasters and spies who advocate equality and covertly oppose the abuse of power. The organization is benevolent, knowledgeable, and secretive. Bards and wizards of good alignments are commonly drawn to them. Their goals are gather information throughout Faerun, promote fairness and equality by covert means, thwart tyrants and leaders, governments, and organizations that grow too powerful, aid the weak, poor, and oppressed.
That is perfect for Uriel.
They believe that
And
no
Nivara.
one can have too much information or arcane knowledge. Too much power leads to corruption. The abuse of magic in particular must be closely monitored, and no one should be powerless. So the
Harpers have also been questioned as being potentially evil in some timelines.
then
They can be kind of like terrorists at points.
The Order of the Gauntlet is composed of faithful and vigilant seekers of justice who protect others from the depredations of evildoers. Honorable, vigilant, and zealots, clerics, monks, and paladins of good, often lawful good, alignments are commonly drawn to them. Their goals are be armed and vigilant against evil, identify evil threats such as secretive power groups and inherently evil creatures, enforce justice, enact retribution against evil actions, or do not strike preemptively. Their beliefs are faith is the greatest weapon against evil, faith in one's God, one's friends, and oneself. Battling evil is an extraordinary task that requires extraordinary strength and bravery, and punishing an evil act is just. Punishing an evil thought is not. And then the Emerald Enclave is a widespread group
The last point
of,
there.
of wilderness survivalists who preserve the natural order while rooting out unnatural threats. They're decentralized and hardy and reclusive. Barbarians, druids, and rangers of good or neutral alignment are commonly drawn to them. Their goals are to restore and preserve the natural order, destroy all that is unnatural, keep the elemental forces of the world in check, keep civilization and the wilderness from destroying each other. And their beliefs are the natural order must be respected and preserved. Forces that upset the natural order must be destroyed. And civilization and the wilderness must learn to coexist peacefully.
Yeah, this is all way too high-minded for Uthgrim. He's not gonna these pretenders set grand ideals. Drink your fucking wine if you're not paying me. You get fucked.
All right. So there's all that. So thanks to the information you guys have provided, the Harpers now know that the Call is amassing treasure and shipping it north. Where exactly this treasure is going and what the Call plans to do with it are the next two questions that they would like answered. They would like you to join the cult's caravan and accompany it on the journey. Frume suggests that you could get yourselves hired as guards, if not by the cult's wagon masters, then by other merchants who are traveling in the same direction at the same time. He tells you that merchants from different companies commonly join together to form large trains for protection. And he has contacts among the many merchants of the region, specifically in Baldur's Gate, that he's pretty certain can get you guys a job. So you will get paid for that.
He was going to be in for his friends. Like he'd fight for you guys to the end, but for all these high-minded ideals, well, you know how he feels about that.
So, the kind of timing is an issue here a little bit. Between the tracks leaving from the camp and the map that you guys provided, it looks like that, they're heading west to pick up the Coastway Road. And there they would turn north to Baragost and Baldur's Gate. And that's a journey of about 550 miles. The wagons would probably take about a month for that trip, depending on conditions. Obviously they left a while ago, because you guys have done quite a bit since then. And, but the river Chyanthar flows directly from Elturel, where you guys are now, to Baldur's Gate. And a sailing vessel can make that trip downstream in about 3 days. And Onthar Frume has already arranged for such a boat to leave at dawn tomorrow. And he, assuming you guys agree to do this, he will also give each of you 50 gold just for like expenses. And yeah,
What about our horses? Are we bringing those with us or not?
that's up to you. The boat is large enough that it could accommodate your horses if you want to take them, or you could sell them here.
I think that we might want to take them, and perhaps, though it's at quite a late hour to be buying a horse, do we need a sixth?
Considering we needed a fifth.
Or yeah, fifth and sixth. You're right.
Actually, they can arrange to get you guys a couple more horses for Mastig and Tyvel. So yeah, you guys don't have to worry about that.
Let's get some fucking deep pockets for not paying a man for his work.
You're getting paid, just not in coin, okay?
Paid a bunch of fucking pretty words.
Oh, and the other thing is they will also, Onthar Frume will make sure that you are fully outfitted. So if you need any kind of new gear, even weapons, they will provide those for you,
Like
as well as
fully outfitted, as in like plate armor outfitted.
Plate armor for everyone, which we will mostly sell later. But
yeah, well, they might be able to provide one suit of plate armor. I don't think one for everyone.
I would. If that's on Matt's bucket list.
Yeah, I'm definitely, if they're going to buy me plate armor, I'm not going to say no. Watch, it's not going to be dwarf sized or some bullshit.
It's on the table for
give
you.
the man some fucking plate armor. He hasn't stopped talking about it since Greenest. Uthgrim is properly drunk at this point.
Uriel's just swaying. That's all.
No, really. Can I get like that cool symbol you have? Can I get a lyre that looks like that? Because that's kind of badass.
We'll go down to ye old Walmart and pick one up.
I mean, you definitely could. The question is would there be one right now?
Right now.
Let's roll.
That sounds like a D100 roll.
Yep. You know what? I tell you what. They could get you one of those in Baldur's Gate. When you get to Baldur's Gate, there's a whatever you call someone who makes instruments there, and there was actually a noble who commissioned just as such a thing to be made, and then lost all his money in a game of cards and wasn't able to pay for it. So yeah.
Sweet.
You could probably get it for pretty cheap because for some reason they haven't been able to sell it.
I love the slow double fist bump.
So yeah, as far as like you guys can get clothes, basic weapons, if you need arrows, rations, basic equipment.
I'd stock up on some rations because free food.
Armor.
Crazy.
Larry needs to get some arrows.
So Chrissy, you could get an upgrade to your armor.
Yeah, I was actually gonna say, could I get my leather armor? Could I trade in my leather armor for some studded leather armor?
Yeah.
Just hold still. I'll pound some rocks into your regular leather armor.
Yeah, Uriel would definitely would like to get a new dagger instead of carrying around the shitty ass kobold dagger he's had since the beginning.
Sure.
So.
And yeah, Mastig, they hook you up with some armor.
Really? They give me plate armor?
Yeah.
That's like 1,500 gold pieces.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
I should have signed
It
up
comes
for
from Frume's own armory.
Yeah, it might have a holy symbol of Torm on it, but
What? Throw it.
Sand that off. You can sand that off.
Yeah, set it off.
65 pounds.
Yeah.
It'll be covered in blood soon anyways.
yeah, right.
Mastic's AC now 20.
18. I got rid of the shield. So now
What were you wearing?
Splint.
Splint, and before that, I
Chain?
forget what.
Probably.
No, it wasn't chain.
Scale?
Was it? Scale, I think, maybe.
No, I think you had chain when you started.
Did I start with chain?
I think
I
so.
think they start with chain.
I thought he started with chain and then upgraded to splint.
Yeah.
I think that's right.
Scale. I started with scale. I believe.
Oh.
No, you're right. Chainmail. Yep. Then splint, which
Okay.
I will now sell for half price. So I not only get plate armor, I also get another $100. Which I now what do I do with my money?
Yeah.
I have this plan.
Buy a keep.
Get
Well, I'll
your-
throw
Buy
it
but
to a
start,
keep.
buy the
your
first
weapons,
fucking
silver.
pint
Yeah.
in Elturel.
You're like a king for like a year.
Oh, yeah, by the way, earlier while you were doing that whole thing with Uriel talking to Leosin forever, I finished the thing and posted it as to what Nymara wanted to keep.
Yeah, thanks
Not
for
that that's
patience.
completely relevant, but
I knew that took a little while.
We totally had that text RP going. It was dank.
It was dang. Oh, okay. Just for, I guess, for role play purposes, but assuming the meeting is concluding, Uriel, with what like thoughts he can pull together, would probably approach Leosin, and he thinks it kind of goes like this. He goes like, "Hey, in the morning, I need to talk to you for a little while about a completely separate matter." But how it really goes is just like, you, me, morning, talks, and he just kind of like walks off. And so,
Okay,
Well,
I put it
hopefully,
in
yeah.
chat, but Frume tells you that his contact in Baldur's Gate is a man named Akin Celeban. He is a human trader, and you will be able to find him in the Blackgate district.
Remember that.
does he tell me which person it is who I can go to get that
Yes,
instrument?
yes, he tells you where you can find that shop. And Leosin tells you to tell them that he sent you, and they'll give you a good deal.
Well, off to bed. Thanks for the wine. Yeah,
Actually, Leosin, Nivara, Leosin gives you like a sealed like scroll, and he says that the guy owes him a favor, and give this to him. So he's basically cashing in his favor, so you can get this harp
What a nice guy.
or lyre. I mean,
This not getting paid thing seems to be working out better.
Yeah.
I
I'm
mean,
perfectly
you know
okay with not getting paid at this point.
and you guys did all get 50 gold for expenses,
Oh, right.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
in addition to any gear that you need.
Yeah, I grabbed a handful of arrows, I think, because I was out. Well, it was not out, but I was like 14 arrows out of the 20, so.
So I have no clue what to do with my gold.
I think that is a common issue in.
Yes, that
it
is
is, but that's fine.
that is an issue.
We're gonna put it towards some greater goals.
Like buy a boat later. Forget traveling on land.
yeah, he needs
Pirates.
I actually have an
Yeah.
idea. Hold on to your gold. I have an idea for the future.
Sweet. Are we gonna become venture capitalists?
I already got an idea. It's called the fucking pints.
Yeah.
No, I have an idea of how you can turn that gold into maybe some
Or
magic
cash.
items, or
FP Incorporated.
I have an NPC that can make some magic items.
Can we fund an archaeology team?
if you want to?
I'm like, Navarro should be all up.
You know, we could have more than one diamond for the revivify spell
You could.
if everybody's just swimming in money. It'd be 50 each.
Does the diamond only have a one-time use?
Yeah,
Yes.
it consumes it.
Yeah, that's the kicker of it.
Yeah, you can take my 50. No problem for that. I think
The question is your life worth 300 gold?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll throw in 50.
I know.
Is
Mine's
everybody going to
not,
throw
but-
in 50 for that then?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's 300.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, Tyval doesn't have much money, but he has no use for that money at all. As a druid, it's not like he's ever going to buy anything.
So then if more than 2 of us die, we're just going to write it off then. So we're
Yep. We just got to make sure that Mastig is not one of them.
Well, remember,
Yeah.
so who joined
help.
what organization, or who is joining what organization?
Navarro is definitely joining the Harpers.
Yeah, Uriel's in the Harpers too. Also,
None of them appealed to Thurin.
Okay.
Aztec's going with the order. And of course, Tyval was already the Emerald Enclave.
they should really be the Order of the Mastic though. When I heard their mission statement,
Yeah, right? Didn't
It was like
just
pulled.
totally be like, boom.
The
pulled
cult
right out of my
of
head.
Mastig.
Yes.
All right. So
Actually-
those of you that are part of one of these organizations, you are now affiliated with people that have a lot of resources. So, they could even, bring you back. So
Sky's the limit.
if someone drops and you don't have the diamond, just drag their body along behind you.
No, you got 1 minute for revivify.
Somebody
but
has
there's
true
higher
resurrection
level.
somewhere.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
there's raised
200
dead.
years. 200
Resurrection
years
and-
on true resurrection.
And there's always reincarnation too. That's always fun. You could come back as an elf, Mastig. Wouldn't that be great?
Yeah.
Yeah.
At least you'd be
Navarro would
with your
love
axe.
to. Navarro would love to come back as a dwarf.
That would be
Dang.
awesome. Dwarf
She
bard.
She has beard and V.
That Navarro would be totally happy coming back as a.
course
What
you
is
would.
the
we
proper
don't
name of
even
the
know.
Harpers?
Yeah, we don't even know if Mastic's a man or a woman yet.
That
Well,
that
here's
is
the
the name.
Can't tell the difference.
We tell, dwarves tell people that we're not really born of women, that we kind of just spring out of rocks fully formed.
Fucking
So
mushroom.
there's,
Yeah.
so there's not really a need to have separate men and women. So we're all just kind of good with whatever.
They're very free-form people. Very loving and accepting of each other.
I think I should have Dwayne design the dwarf culture in my own personal world. This could be
I like
interesting.
Gender non-conforming dwarfs.
Also known as the mushroom born.
Yeah, they spore.
You know what? We missed a great RP opportunity, Kyle, for Uthgrim and Uriel to go looking for a house of ill repute.
That's true.
But Baldur's Gate's a big city.
Yeah.
It is. It is. Actually, I got a book all about Baldur's
It's on-
Gate.
Oh, okay.
All about it.
Okay. Whew.
It's like, no, not the children.
I thought this was going outside of the PG-13.
No. I have Baldur's Gate stuff.
Yeah, there's an adventure set in Baldur's Gate, right?
Yeah. I actually have the adventure, but I wasn't very impressed with it, and it definitely doesn't fit in this campaign. I was hoping it would, but it's very different. Like, it would really derail things.
Cool.
It's very political. It seems kind of boring, but
It's kind of Game of Thrones.
yes, totally.
So Thurin being smashed, he's already sleeping.
You and Uriel,
like-
I tell you.
That's how Uriel gets to sweep. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like his Z-Quill, but, fantasy Z-Quill.
Can we take a quick break so I can get a beer in real life?
Yes, I need to do the same.
Yes.
All right.
Take 5.
Or as Chrissy would do.
There we go.
Do-do-do.
Showed you my dog last time. She's now been all shaved down. Direction. There she is.
Nice.
She's watching me because I got popcorn.
Popcorn.
I find it's one of those things, like, I used to eat chips while I was playing, but I was super self-conscious about the sound, whereas I find popcorn is a bit easier.
And actually, if you get popcorn that doesn't have too much butter or oil on it, healthier too.
Yeah. Yeah, I buy this. I really like the Orville Redenbacher just light stuff. I think it is what it is.
That's
'Cause
what I
it's got-
have.
Oh, it's good, man. It's got it's got some butter, but it's not super buttery and doesn't have that like greasy film.
Mm-hmm.
I know what Mastig needs now. He needs a war horse that's also in plate armor.
He could probably pay for like an entourage or something, like people that just follow him around and be like,
A hype team.
yeah.
He probably doesn't even need to. He probably doesn't even need to pay for one because of that
Hype man.
folk hero thing.
Right.
Nivara is his.
Or we could get plate
Pet
armor
peeve.
for a warhorse or whatever, and Tyvel just turn into a warhorse. He could ride him around.
We could just get like birding for when you turn into an animal, and then
Oh
we load
shit!
you up.
We need bear armor.
Bear armor. Shit, we gotta get a good smith.
I thought there was. I don't know about this edition, but I know in 3.5 there was an armor enchant that you could buy. That the armor would turn into armor for whatever animal you turned into when you turned into an animal.
Under the barding section, you can buy barding for any animal that you can like afford the barding for. So I mean, if the Russians can do it, so can we.
So, what are you thinking about turning into then?
It's going to be situational. I hope I get plenty of time to like once he gets used to turning into different things, because he's got a very like an Uthgrim sense, because like when he turns into a bear or something, like you're supposed to keep your personality or whatever, but it changes.
Is that a Mastig figurine?
Yeah.
So he's
Oh
not
my
just gonna
God,
like
yes.
hang out as a bear and be happy little Tyvel as a
Sorry,
bear.
it's-
He's gonna be a bear.
I don't know how to zoom it.
How about a wolf?
Yeah, like black or brown bear, black bear, whatever it is, dire wolf, all that nonsense. And I hope I get plenty of time to turn into just like a cat or something.
A cat?
As time goes on, just for RP purposes. And Tyvel's trinket is his scarf also that stays on him and transforms with his things. So it'd be like a cat wearing a tiny little green scarf.
Adorable.
Yeah.
Oh,
Adorable as hell.
You
He'll
should
be our
become
mascot.
a frog.
So that's how you kind of tell, oh, that's not just a bear, that's Tyvel bear, because he's wearing his scarf.
Sorry.
He's that. It was very difficult for me to find, because when you search Druid for images, what do you get? You get like these tree dudes or these epic like Malfurion style tree things or whatever. So I ended up making Tyval's portrait, by the way, or not his portrait, his little character thing, which you guys can't see yet, but once I get it made to a token. You know.
Cool.
So when can you turn into a bear? What level?
Right now, baby.
Can you?
Yeah. He's a moon druid.
Oh, you chose moon. Okay.
Moon druid.
I've seen a crazy amount of animals this session. I don't know what that's about. I blame Nathan.
What? What
He
about
did
animals?
this.
I
Yeah.
didn't know.
You looking out like a window or something?
Yeah, I'm at a new spot. I'm looking out across like a field. And
I thought you meant in game. I didn't realize you meant in real life.
no,
Yeah.
no. If you ever
I was
see me
confused
with
at
my
first.
like chin up, just kind of like this, it's because I'm looking at some random animal that's just going across.
So is the stray dog you mentioned my dog? Because I don't know that she's stray exactly.
But no, it was just like this big old Labrador, like golden Labrador. I was like, where the fuck did that dog come from? Why is it in my
How do you
backyard?
know it was a stray dog? How do you know it wasn't like a neighborhood dog that just got out?
Well, I'm like, it probably was the neighborhood dog that got out, but
Because my dog used
Why is-
to try to get out. Every time the door was open, that dog was trying to get out and not like on a leash. So, and that dog was bigger than I am. So you know it got out a couple times.
Yeah.
Only so much I can do about a dog that's bigger than I.
So this might be a bit interesting. As a snack, I've decided on a ham sandwich, but instead of using sandwich bread, I've cut open some whole yeast donuts that I made. So literally, it's ham and cheese on a donut.
Wow.
I
a
love it.
sugar.
I
a
gotta
sugar-
get
still-
rid of these donuts before they go stale. So.
If you
Yeah,
go
I
into a
still want-
diabetic coma, we know why.
Good.
I still want to do the cheeseburger between two Krispy Kremes deal. I've never done it, but it sounds awesome.
It's like KFC where they've got like a sandwich that is made of 2 chicken patties and
Yeah.
Dwayne, I was gonna say, I know you haven't done it because you're still alive.
Yeah, right.
That's right. Sounds so good.
Sadly, the yeast donuts are very, very tiny. But they're delicious, and they're not too terribly sugary, so they go well.
Oh,
I still think my favorite donuts will always be apple cider donuts.
homemade donuts, it just doesn't beat it. You wake up Sunday morning, boom, you got homemade donuts, fresh from being fried up.
And donut dough is easy to make as long as, you know,
So around my area,
real cheap.
we got the best donut store I think you'll ever find.
What's it called?
It's called
Daylight.
Clark's Donuts.
Isn't there that one that makes those like voodoo donuts? Isn't that the really like popular donut shop somewhere? I think in California. That does all the famous like bacon donuts and stuff.
That sounds weird.
I should have gotten some mustard. I regret making a ham sandwich without mustard.
Not a fan of
I'm
mustard.
sorry
live to
for your
learn, man.
loss.
I mean, life
I'm
is
like, that's the regret of the day. He just learned something new.
shit happens, right? Like you make a sandwich with ham, a donut, you need some mustard.
I regret not
Yeah,
having the mustard.
fair enough, man. It's such a random sandwich. It's like, how would you ever know that you needed mustard until you tried it?
You're acting like it's hindsight. Like, how did I forget the mustard?
Yeah, man, don't blame
Well,
yourself.
I mean,
Don't-
it could kind
don't
of
be so hard on
right?
yourself.
Ham and mustard go really well together.
I'm
If
like,
I
are we
would have
sitting
made
in the
a
opposite
regular ham ham and cheese sandwich. I put mustard on it. I don't know why I didn't on this one.
Yeah.
Or these little ones.
I'm wondering what our viewers must be thinking of this discussion.
Hey, man. If you don't experience new things, how will you ever know what you truly enjoy?
Exactly.
This is true.
Like
Oh.
little ham sandwiches made with donuts. Well,
I
they're
was
more like
comfortable
rolls.
with my little niche, my little hole.
They're more like
No one
rolls
can
and
do.
donuts, but
The question is, are they baked or are they fried? That's really the distinction.
they're deep fried.
Okay, then they're donuts.
I mean, it looks like a biscuit, sort of, but it also looks kind of like a tiny donut.
I think the best way to make donuts is to bake them first and then just like fry a crispy layer of it
I
on.
think these turned out well.
But
When I lived in Seattle area, they had a donut chain called Top Pot that were awesome. They had these awesome apple fritters. They were like this big.
Nice.
I'm really curious what cities like that are like.
What?
Just, I don't know, big
Seattle?
cities. Yeah, I've never been to.
Seattle's
Big
not a big
city.
city, really.
It is for me.
It's the smallest big city.
they're not all up to be.
I'm like, once you get onto that verge where you have shops that have no reason to really be shops, I consider it a big city. I feel like
Well, I used to
Seattle's
live in
probably
Chicago, and that was a big city.
Yeah,
Have you ever been to Wrigley Field? Because that's like
Yes.
my bucket list. Is to go
Yes,
to every like
I
baseball
saw a
stadium.
game there. The only pro baseball game I ever saw. My boss bought me a ticket, so I had to go.
I'd eat that burger.
I developed a habit. Like I used to just go to baseball games and passively get a hot dog. Now I can't not get a hot dog if I go to a baseball game. I'm addicted.
See, that's how I am with beer. I have to get a beer.
People love my hot dogs. You know, Nathan's hot dogs.
We do love your hot dogs.
All right, guys.
The only time I ever. Oh, never mind.
I was just gonna say, I'm just gonna warn you. There's a good chance we'll be done early tonight because I am not prepared beyond Baldur's Gate, and this after Dwayne said how prepared I am.
You're forgiven.
That's all right. I'm pretty sure we could find stuff to do in Baldur's Gate that would.
Oh
last.
yeah, I'm sure you could.
We can sit there and talk about
We were
crazy
just talking
sandwiches.
Well, we were talking about the House of Ill Repute.
Yeah.
If there's more than one, we'll have to visit them all.
Well, I have this whole book here I haven't read yet. I could just start flipping through it and picking random things. Did any of you guys play the Baldur's Gate video games?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, like Pillars of Eternity.
Of Eternity is
that?
really good.
It's awesome. Yeah.
It's great.
What is it?
It's called
Pillars of Eternity.
Yeah. It's like it's a bit of an homage to the Baldur's Gate type isometric gameplay.
The only letdown is it doesn't have multiplayer. Like all the Infinity Engine games have multiplayer. Why did they make one that didn't?
Have you guys heard about the Sword Coast game coming out?
Yeah. That looks cool, man.
Yeah. I want to be the dungeon master.
Well, I'm shocked. I'd play that.
Yeah.
I'd play it.
Yeah. Just keep spawning monsters.
Team intrusions all day, and they can't say no.
They're just coming out of the woodwork. I was playing Adventurers League last night, and we had 7 people, and the adventure was designed for 4 to 5, and so the DM would be like, "Oh, there's like we fought specters." He's like, "Oh, there's 4 specters. Wait, no, there's 8 specters." He was just doubling everything. That was pretty fun.
Did anybody die?
No. Well, we had 2 clerics, so we had our barbarian that was taking most of the hits, and he went down like 3 or 4 times every combat. But the
Don't
clerics
specters
just kept
make you
bringing him
old?
back up.
Is that what specters do? Don't they make you old? am I thinking different?
I don't know. They didn't do that to us, but you have to have magic weapons to not. They only take half damage from non-magic weapons.
And they have that like kind of level drain thing where doesn't your maximum hit points go down when they hit you? I think specters and wraiths both have that.
I don't know. I
know
never
it's
got hit.
It's absolutely toxic to first level characters. I know that.
My guy's an archer, so.
I fought a banshee last night. It's not fun. Banshees aren't fun. It's here. Make a con roll or go unconscious.
My character is 5th level and has a +10 to hit, which in this edition is huge.
Wow. How do you manage a +10?
Well, he's got an 18 dex. He's got the archery fighting style.
That's 6, 8,
and then he's got a +1 bow.
9.
He borrowed a +1 bow from one of the other guys.
Huh.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet. Pretty sweet.
So mine's 5 right now.
Yeah, I think I'm going to get the 2-weapon fighting feat with him for the few times when he gets into melee and can't avoid it. It's like, I find that more useful than getting that crossbow feat, because I'm never going to use crossbows. So it's like I'll just whip out 2 swords at that point, 2 rapiers. All right.
If you want to get to it, I'm gonna bring up a point of order.
Sure.
In the morning, Uriel would definitely look out and try to find Leosin.
Okay.
And once he finds him, he's gonna start talking and try to prepare. So Leosin, say I need to get in contact with you somehow. What would be the best way to do that? And what contacts do we have in Baldur's Gate, and are they running any agents within the cultists? And can one of those cultist agents try to assimilate us in?
No, to his knowledge, they don't have any agents in the cult.
Okay.
Of course, that doesn't mean they don't have any agents in the cult, because the way the Harpers operate, they don't all know what everybody's doing. So there may be.
Navarro would have also tried to get a hold of Leosin and ask him if he can get a message to her library for her.
I actually think my eagle would probably be back, because I haven't sent. It's been 2 sessions since I sent.
Your eagle comes back, but it does not have a reply, or your hawk. It's a hawk, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, I mean, reply. I'm just assuming that my, role play fantasy father at this point is giving me some pretty basic, responses. But
no, he gave you the one response, and then you sent him another letter, and your bird comes back, but it doesn't have another letter.
But I think the bird could be sent to. I could send it for her. Yeah. Right.
Or I could. Animal messenger is a ritual.
How far does it go, though?
It designated place and person. You get 25 words, though. 25 words, but it'll get there.
It's like medieval Twitter.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say. Yeah.
It's even better if it's an actual bird.
No. It can be
So
whatever you want.
is your library in Waterdeep, Chrissy, or?
Yeah, I think that's what we.
Okay. Because that's where you guys are ultimately heading, but it's going to take a while to get there.
Yeah. Mostly, the point of sending it is to let them know that it's going to take me longer than expected to get there, because I have to make 1 million side stops, and if Talia shows up home for some reason, it's more RP than actual.
Okay, sure.
On the road to
Important.
Waterdeep. Stop. We'll be there soon. Stop. Expect delays. Stop.
If Talia comes home, keep her there.
Yeah, I think that's less than 25 words to get that point across.
See, that's when you need German, where you can just smash 3 words together.
Ich komme. That's about all I got.
I know a phrase that my dad taught me. It's not very nice.
Now we might have to. No, I'm sure we don't have any
I was
German
gonna say maybe
watchers.
not for tell us after the stream.
I know I have German listeners on my podcast, but I don't think any of them are watching on Twitch.
You might be surprised.
I also
Yeah?
know vacuum cleaner directly translated from German as a dust sucker.
Nice. Yeah, they have some cool words.
Something Zauger. Zauger's to suck.
All right, so the next morning, first thing, you guys catch the ship that is going to take you downriver to Baldur's Gate. And it is a 3-day trip that passes uneventfully. So you guys have 3 days on the boat. And then you get to Baldur's Gate.
We'll have some
I
more
know a
chats
lot of
about
cards.
tactics. We'll have the tactics chat.
Sure. That sounds like fun.
Yeah.
See, that's another reason I wanted the dragon, because then I'd have someone to role play when you guys
Oh.
have your campfire
Aw.
chats. I could have been the snarky dragon. But
So the dragon was actually not just gonna fuck off. It was gonna hang out.
I don't know. You'll never
I
know
kind of-
now.
We'll never know.
I don't know why you guys
See-
would have made that assumption.
See, as a player,
I
I
do
kind
know
of
why.
thought. No, as a player, I kind of thought it was just Flex kind of trying to get away to roleplay with us as well, but I didn't want to say anything because I didn't want that to affect you guys. With
No,
your
no, it's
characters.
fine. It's fine.
But I was like, I really want this dragon in our party, but
Would have been fun.
It would have been fun, but that's all right. Pretty soon, you guys will have intelligent weapons that can be snarky.
Yeah.
yay.
Nice.
Okay.
That's great role playing.
That's awesome.
So, Typhoon, you said you could bring us roll with the staff with the flowers. You hit people with that then.
Yeah, I can do that. I can make it hit a little bit harder than one would expect this frame to hit someone with, through augmentation through magic, of course.
Do you guys want the battle grid so you can draw diagrams and
Oh shit, throw it up.
do plays like football or whatever?
Dwayne just wants to name stuff.
I just want to name things.
Oh, the slap and tickle, man. That's
The old slap and tickle.
Yeah,
surprise the viewers when they see it.
I got really behind on that post, and I just started skimming it and trying to catch up, and a lot of slap and tickle. Just saying,
Oh my god.
you guys put that a lot.
Oh my god. I love Tyvil's little picture.